What a day. India have won by 317 runs to draw level 1-1 in the four-test series. It was an emphatic victory, really, for this Indian team in the second test. Rohit Sharma's 161, R. Ashwin's 108 wickets in this match. Akshar Patel becoming only the ninth India bowler to take a 5-wicket haul on debut. Wickets also for Kuldeep Yadav on the final day of this test match. And very, very key contributions from Ajinkya Rahane and Rishabh Pant in that first innings for India. So it's been a completely dominant performance for the hosts. And before we delve into the analysis with Pragyan Ojha and Boria Majumdar, here's why you should download the House That app and start challenging our experts on sports today. Irfan Pathan will tell you why.
क्या आप भी किसी अपने सपने मेरे तुम्हारे टीम 11 पे टीम बना रहे हो और बच्चों के साथ खेल रहे हो? हमारे साथ खेलोगे? हाउस पे खेलो लेजेंड्स के साथ. हमें हरा और जीतो डबल कैश. Log on to houseat.com and win real cash.
Pragyan Ojha, I could not but help being a little dramatic, and it's that kind of a day. It's a little, as an Indian fan, as an Indian cricket fan, it's that kind of a day, right? You lose a test match at home. It's a rare occurrence for Indian cricket teams. The last time we lost a test match was back in 2017, almost 4 years ago against Australia. It happened again in the first test in Chennai, but those blips happen. I mean, it's an incredible achievement, right? Over the last 2 decades, over the last 1 decade, India have lost only 2 test matches at home. But what a comeback this! What a spectacular comeback! And we'll straight away dive into the fact that Akshar Patel made his mark on debut. So before Boria Majumdar has also joined us. Boria, I hope Saraswati Puja lunch turns out to be even tastier with the way this Indian team wrapped up victory. But before I go to you, gentlemen, a quick look at Akshar Patel, what he has been able to achieve. Like I said, only the 9th India bowler and the second left-arm spinner after Dilip Doshi to pick up a 5-4 on test debut. Pragyan, very impressive after Shahbaz Nadeem kind of disappointed on that surface in Chennai. You'd be thrilled as a left-arm spinner to see the way Akshar went about his business today.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Indian team and all the guys who have performed. Yes, Rohit, Ashwin, they're all seasoned pros and they're the seniors. They are always there. They're in thick of things. But it was pleasing to see Akshar Patel missing out the first test match and then coming and playing the second one and straight away making that impact. Yes, the wicket was favoring him, but that temperament and the willingness really helped him, and he got a 5-4, and that too on debut. Nothing. I'm not taking any credit away from him, but we can't be too critical about Shahbaz Nadeem. He's been a brilliant performer in domestic cricket for over the years. For 15-20 years, he's been doing that. So one game doesn't make him bad. At times it happens. But Akshar Patel, great temperament, bowling with Ashwin, and knowing that in these kind of wickets, Ashwin will not let anybody dominate. In that, you kind of making your own space and challenging the batsmen and getting them out. Really, really great effort.
Right, a lot of contributions for this Indian team, Pragyan and Boria. But before I go to Boria, I just need to understand this from Pragyan. R. Ashwin has been named man of the match. Splendid contribution, 108 wickets. He unfortunately could not get to that elite list of hundreds and 10 wickets in a match. But your man of the match would have been would you have, let's say, picked Rohit Sharma because he set up the game on the first day?
Yes, as I told you right after the game, it was Rohit Sharma for me. It is not because of anything, but the way the game was poised. If you look at first innings was very important, and everybody knew the bowling. This wicket is going to favor the bowler more than the batsman, and it deteriorated. And now everybody will question saying that Ashwin has got a brilliant 100. Yes, he got a brilliant 100, but you have to look at. Does that 100 really adds up to India's win or loss? No, it doesn't, because by the time he got 100, India was far ahead. They were much ahead of the score that we're looking at. They played the whole day. But Ashwin applied himself the way he's got. I'm not taking any credit away from him. But the most important thing is that 100 from that big 100 from Rohit Sharma. That set the tone for the test match. Imagine he getting out of that 161, getting a 60, and see the scorecard and see what that second innings would have been. That would have been that much important. But in the first innings, he made sure the second innings is totally out of the picture because they had that kind of lead.
Right. Boria, you have been in touch with Rohit Sharma, right? You broke everything from his developments around the IPL to the time he went to Australia, his quarantine. You spoke to him almost every day. He must be a happy man. I don't know if you've had the chance to when you will get the chance to speak to him, but it'll be a happy conversation after everything that this man has been through towards the end of the last year.
He's a champion. I mean, I keep saying it. There are certain players you should never doubt because when they play, they'll win you games. And Rohit Sharma is one such. In fact, after the last test match, I was speaking to a couple of people in the management. And, I was told, in fact, I said the same on Sports Today because from the way, and I've said this to you as well, that Rohit was getting out. I mean, the bowlers weren't getting him out. I mean, look at that dismissal to in Australia where he was caught by Mitchell Stark. And finally got that Nathan Lyon after that 50. So he got 44, he got 50, he got 30. So 3 out of 4 innings after 14-day quarantine and no tour game, this man manages to play 75 overs of the new ball. So 25, 25, 25, giving India the necessary starts that laid the foundation. So that tells you that clearly he was in good nick. In the first test, he got a very good ball. In the second innings, played inside the line. And I was told that, you know what? The way we are sensing Rohit or seeing Rohit, the big one's around the corner. And yes, I did speak to him the day before the match. And I can say this. I did speak to him the day before the match and he was completely relaxed. He's at ease with his game. He knows what he wants. He's doing what he knows how to do. He's not putting pressure like the way he used to in the first half of his career. This is Rohit Sharma at his absolute best, kind of a philosopher who's come to terms with his strengths, who knows what he's capable of, who knows that in the red ball format, he's sort of lost out in the past because of shot selection a little bit and because of injuries and wants to make as much amends as possible. He's an absolute delight to watch. The way he batted, the strokes that he played tells you how good he is, and not white ball. This is red ball. So, when an Indian team, 5 out of your 7 have scored 50 or hundreds, answers the pitch debate, puts it conclusively to rest. But I understand where 8 wickets and 100, difficult to look past that particular player for a man of the match. But Pragyan's right. Maybe it should have been divided between Rohit and Ashwin.
Yeah.
Also, Boria, yes, Pragyan, you're saying something.
Yeah. Very well put. You can always divide it. Yes, if you're saying that Ashwin has contributed with both bat and ball, but the impact that Rohit Sharma created, yes, both. You can say both. There's no harm in giving both the players sharing the man of the match.
Right, and it's also a reflection on the senior players in the team. Everybody. Boria, we were talking. We were talking before the test match, and you said this Indian team is such a tough unit. They will know how to bounce back, especially after the defeat in Chennai. Can you tell us what were the conversations, if at all you had any conversation with the management? The way the senior players stepped up. Rahane was under pressure. Rohit, like you said, he would have been disappointed with the way he got out. The bowlers weren't getting him out, but with the way he got out, Ashwin, as usual, stood up. Virat Kohli's crucial knock in that second innings. What does this reflect of the Indian team? Because every time this Indian team is on the back foot, they come back roaring, right? Australia against Australia in 2017 at home, decently in Australia, now here. Tell us a little about the team management because you're so attuned to these guys now.
See, they actually know this. If you actually speak to them, and it is now a kind of a matter of fact thing, even after the first test loss. And I can tell you this, I did not sense an iota of panic. At no point. I did not sense an iota of panic from anyone. And in fact, there was a bit of a joke doing the rounds that, bhai, aisa shock kyun dete ho yaar? Adelaide mein 36, yahan pe 227, वापस तो आना ही है. तो वापस अगर आना है तो भाई पहले से खेल दो यार, 2-0 कर दो rather than 1-1. So that was the kind of thought. They were in that zone that yes, the first test match is an aberration. In fact, it is an aberration. And we will come back, we'll win the series. That was the mentality. And they were not bothered about this number 4 in the league table, number 2. So at no point, I'm telling you, I mean, I have been in touch. I can tell you this is a supremely confident side. They know what their abilities are. That is why I asked Pragyan Ojha this question. Does the pink ball turn? And the moment Pragyan answered me that question yesterday, I can tell you India is now 80-20 ahead in this series, if not 90-10. Because if that pink ball starts turning in Ahmedabad, the scarring England has got here, I don't see the English coming back. Except who looked the part against Spain? Tell me. Who, at the moment they lost the toss, it was the match is gone. And even if India had lost the toss this particular test match, they were playing to their strengths. They had the skill to get England out for 250 in the first innings, maybe not 134, and they would have come back and scored 250, maybe 300, and they would have set up the game. So the ability to play spin, to master these kind of conditions, takes this team to a very different level. They are the champion side. Do not rule it past them. And again that point, quote unquote, we were playing in a ground that appeared like a morgue. This is not a morgue anymore. People are there. Crowd is there. Fans are there. The Indians rally the fans. They back them up. This was a comprehensive performance with people, with Indian cricket fans cheering them.
Absolutely, and with the Indian fans cheering them, you had Virat Kohli. It was like we discussed that yesterday. The way he orchestrates the fans and he peps them on. But
he was doing that whistle podo.
तो करो ना भाई. And what is
मेरे को नहीं आता है. मैं बोला he was doing that.
राजेश मुझे नहीं आता है. अगर आता है तो करके दिखाओ.
नहीं. No, I was just telling you. Captain Virat Kohli involving the crowd, and for the first time crowd is watching the game, so he's connecting. So it's a good gesture. We really enjoyed, and the way he gave his space, the way he said that the Chennai crowd is very intelligent. They know their cricket, what is happening, what is not. So it is good on him that he's involving the crowd, and yes, that is something we were missing for a long time.
Right. I know it's not a debate, but a lot of naysayers, a lot of critics unnecessarily drawing parallels between Kohli and Rahane. This match, his attitude has sort of settled the debate. Hopefully, once and for all.
No, I'll tell you, it is not that. You should talk to Ajinkya Rahane. What did Ajinkya Rahane say? He said, no matter what, Virat is my captain, and that is the truth which remains. So that is what a true leader says. He knows that he's done well. But actually, if you see, Virat was the person who's built this team after MS Dhoni left. So he's the one who's been leading. In future, what happens, we don't know. But at present, he is the captain, and that is how it should be kept. Let's not debate on all these things. And every time we lose, we talk about Virat's inefficiency. And every time we win, we say that Virat was brilliant. No, let keep things in a consistent way. That he is the captain, and we need to believe in him and back him. Till the point he's our captain.
Absolutely, and we've done that on Sports Today all through, right? We've said that, and since you've spoken about how Kohli has taken over the mantle from Dhoni, here's as good a time as any. Look at the stats here, Boria, Pragyan. Virat Kohli has now equaled MS Dhoni's records for most Test wins as a captain in India. There you go, 28 matches, 21 victories. MS Dhoni almost neck and neck, 30 matches, 21 wins. Both of them great captains. I mean. Boria, this is Indian cricket is fortunate, right? You look at the list of captains, you going back to Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, MS Dhoni, and then the way Virat Kohli has taken over the mantle, and the way Indian cricket is shaped now. And also talking of the World Test Championship, India have moved back up to number 2. England has slipped to number 4. So, like you said, there was no panic, and they know the processes that they're doing are right, and that is what's been the hallmark of Virat Kohli's captaincy and Ravi Shastri as coach. They believe in the process, and they are clearly paying dividends now.
Absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely correct. And this man has impact. I'm so glad what Pragyan has said. I think he summed it up right. I will add a couple of things to what he said. One, the moment Rohit Sharma doesn't get runs in one game or 2 games, you will say Rohit Sharma is not a red ball player. For God's sake, shut up. The moment Ajinkya Rahane doesn't get runs in 2 games, you will say, you know what, he's not consistent. For God's sake, shut up. And finally, the moment Virat Kohli is not getting runs, let's replace Virat Kohli with Ajinkya Rahane. I mean, this is the bane of Indian cricket. And I understand this. I mean, these are passionate fans, but come on, you just show a little bit more restraint. There are 3 things which is not going to change. One, Virat Kohli's captaincy is not going to change now. He's done incredibly well for India, number 1. Number 2, Rohit Sharma is your opener, and gladly he is. He's a champion. He will set up matches and win you games. And number 3, Ajinkya Rahane is your vice captain, will be your number 5, who will make telling contributions for India. Look, there are 4-5 captains in this team. Ravi Ashwin, tremendous brain. Jasprit Bumrah, young man, but incredibly bright. Number 3, Rohit Sharma, superb captain. Ajinkya Rahane you have seen, and of course our captain Virat Kohli. So the leadership group that has formed in this team is incredibly strong. Why don't we celebrate that? Rather than being divisive and say, oh, you know what, Ajinkya Rahane, hatao, Virat Kohli. All that is futile, bogus debate. That talk is cheap. That talk is actually cheap. Just like the talk on the pitch was cheap, it is like toilet paper, you flush it. Because you know it's an excuse, it's an escape route. Don't take escape routes. In test match cricket, you get caught. So do not take escape routes and make such cheap comments. You really follow the game. Talk about the strengths of this team. Talk about the pink ball test. Talk about what India can do in the next game. Talk about combinations. Talk about the positives, and you will know Indian cricket is in safe hands.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pragyan, I know you have to go, but before you get away, a quick comment on the way the England players have, the England team sort of crumbled. And like Goria said, the pink ball test coming up, and yesterday we briefly touched on how the pink ball will react and how the spinners will be able to deal with the pink ball in India. We played only obviously one pink ball game in Calcutta before this, but. How do you see the England team coming back? Because it exposes mental frailties. Right?
First thing, as this match will rest the case. I am not a fan of rotation policy. Jimmy Anderson, I told you, in India is very important. In England, you can play somebody else and you can get away with it because it is a home condition, and you can go. Your other bowlers can do that. We have seen that. I'm not trying to take any credit away from Akshar, but we did not miss Ravindra Jadeja. He rightfully bowled well because the wicket was helping the spinners. So it is important when you're going abroad, you're going to alien conditions, you have to make sure that you don't do that rotation policy. I'm not a fan of it. I think somewhere they missed Anderson and Jofra, yes, because of the injury, because that wicket would have done something it would have held much better to these guys, because Stuart Broad was clearly underbowled. Hardly he bowled in the game. And going there, batsmen, yes, we can say that English batsmen could have applied themselves. This is a wicket where our number 7, number 8 batsmen showed how to apply yourself and play and get those runs. But the other thing I was not happy was Jack Leach and Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali having so much experience. I was expecting much better from him. Yes, he got those wickets, but he gave away those runs. If you look at, I'm not even comparing R. Ashwin. If you look at Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel, they were keeping the game tight. I repeat myself, you have to keep things tight. That's when you create the pressure. Even if you're bowling at 60-70%, you have to make sure that you bowl tight lines. That's when the batsman comes under pressure, when he doesn't get those runs. It is as simple as that. And the rotation doesn't happen. Like, one batsman is playing to you maximum time so that the pressure builds.
Right.
Rajesh, you said Pragyan has to. You said Pragyan has to go. No one's going. We'll all go. My bhog is waiting. So Pragyan's very kindly said 5 more minutes and we'll wrap up the show. So all of us will go together on a day when India has won 5 minutes, and we'll all go because lunch is
Boryada, I wish, but there's a little bit of commitment. My sincere apologies. I need to leave.
Okay. चलो प्रज्ञान
yeah.
लोगों ने 5 मिनट पहले
सरस्वती पूजा के लिए सबको शुभकामनाएं, and it's been a very auspicious day for us, and it was a brilliant statement by the Indian team, and we are really proud of them. So really excuse me. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Pragyan Oja. Thank you so much for your time, Boria. But we're looking forward to this, and I like we discussed, your bhog is going to taste even tastier now, right? But it's such a great. By the way, have you had lunch yet? No, you haven't yet.
No. I mean, the bhog is hot and waiting for me. So the moment you let me go, I will go and jump into my. People are commenting. I'll enjoy your bhog. So last 2 questions, and let's all celebrate.
I'll let you go in 5 minutes, but like I said, you are an expert cricket analyst and you're also an expert storyteller. So I cannot let you go without a couple of stories on Indian fight backs, and you have to tell us exactly, whatever transpired. These guys are your friends at the end of the day. 2001 in India, 2017 against Australia, 2021 in Australia. tell me what has been the talk around dressing rooms, and what have been the motivating factors in these iconic test series, because this is shaping up to be a pretty iconic test series, Boria. A very tough England team. Yes, they're a pretty tough England team, and this could go down in history as one of those iconic series.
It is, and there is a lot at stake. So no question. 2001 was different. Look, at that point in time, we weren't on the ascendancy. Here we are. We are the favorites to win. At that point in time, Stephen was, Australia was favorites to win. 16 test matches on the trot after Mumbai, 128 for 8 at the end of day 2. I was walking back from Eden Gardens and basically abusing, saying, oh, you know what, I mean, completely tomorrow the game will be this, that. And then VVS Lakshman scores that 281 and Rahul scores 180. And everything changes. Final day, Sachin those 3 wickets. I've told you that story about SK Bansal, that his car went into a one-way street in Calcutta on that particular night of day 5. And the police constable stopped his car. So the driver very sheepishly looked at SK Bansal and said, Sir, agar thoda help kar de. So the umpire for that particular game, Bansal Sahab, walked out of the car and looked at the cop. And the cop looked very closely at Bansal Sahab and said, are you the umpire who gave Glenn McGrath out? And he said, हाँ. He said, आपके लिए कोई no entry नहीं, आप जाओ. So that is Indian cricket. That is why Indian fans are Indian fans. And if you think back, there's been disappointment at Chennai with Sachin Tendulkar. That 136, one of the best innings he has ever played. He didn't come out. The only time in his life to take a man of the match award was that particular test match. After 136, we lost by 12. And I remember I was supposed to go to the book fair, and all of those plans cancelled in 1999. I mean, iconic test matches, iconic. I mean, Australia 2007-8, that Sydney Monkey Gate, we came back, we were told Sean Tate will bowl 160 and will blast us, will sort of torment us and take us away. And there comes Virendra Sehwag at the top of the order, 29-28, not major runs, but telling impact. And then Irfan Pathan, final day, came and celebrated with a bottle of champagne with the media. We all opened it at the grass hill at the Wacker. At that point in time, it was the Wacker, the old cricket ground. This time around in Adelaide, that particular midnight meeting where Ravi Shastri said, wear 36 like a badge, whether it is a badge of disgrace or a badge of honor, you guys decide. If you want to wear it as a badge of honor, then you have to turn it around and become the world's greatest cricket team. And that's what they did. They treated it as a three-match series. Trisha is writing to me, Boria, close karo dao, khide peche. Trisha is a really hungry woman. I mean, she is one of those real, like, to my heart. We are all greedy Bengalis, and Saraswati Pujo is our Valentine's Day as well. Valentine's Day, not simply men and women. Valentine's Day with also the food. Deep Dasgupta, we are sending you virtual food from here to Chennai. Because today, the khichuri. Now, let me give you some food analogies. The khichuri and the panch rokom bhaja, the 5 types of fried stuff we have, gobi and aubergine and potatoes, and and then you get into the sabjis. Exactly like the way. So the khichuri is Rohit Sharma. Start. An incredible start. And the garnish is Ajinkya Rahane with the 5 types of fried food. And now comes the next round. What is the next round? The next round are the sabjis. That is now the second part of the story, which is Ravichandran Ashwin and Aksar Patel. So you are now midway into your lunch, right? And then moment your tummy is starting to get full and you're enjoying it, and people are saying, don't eat too much. You know what? This food is not that great. You will have indigestion. And there comes Ravi Ashwin with his second innings 100, telling you, oh, you know what? This food is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And finally, you are into the dessert. We bongs lava dessert. Rajarshi wedding soon. I will have multiple mishtis at his wedding. And that is the Virat Kohli masterclass and the final day spin. Wow. What a telling performance by this Indian side to cap off a fantastic day.
Nobody could have summed this Indian victory up better, and I'm not going to say anything more after this, because when Sachin Tendulkar batted, the best of commentators would just go quiet and let the scenery unfold in front of them. So after this analogy, I don't think I should say anything anymore, apart from letting Boria go and enjoy his bhog, and wish you all a very happy Saraswati Puja. Boria, I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for this vivid description and the analogy and the analysis. We will be back on Sports Today with a lot more in the course of the week. Tomorrow we will bring you further reviews of this test match, and we will also get you detailed analysis of the IPL auction on the 18th of February. But what a day for India!
Team selection for the white ball teams as well.
Yes, the team selection for the white ball series. Yes, we will get you all of those updates and analysis. But for now, let's just enjoy this win. Boria with a rope and we probably with a chicken sandwich.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for joining.